I love you. Now I hate you. What is up? Welcome to the channel where I talk, you listen for some odd reason. I'm your host, Anonymous, and today we're going to be talking about the anime hate. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The anime hate in the community is wild. Y'all are being crazy. Just outright disrespectful. And by that, I mean disrespectful to the ones that came before. Right now, I feel like, now here's my conspiracy theory. Right now, I believe that the anime community has been flooded with anime haters. People disguising themselves as anime fans, right? Now, let me explain the difference. An anime fan is more likely to watch an assortment of different varieties of anime, right? And maybe they do stick to just shonen, but at the very least they find a show that they like and have a love for that they can defend, even if the show is god awful. And then we have the anime haters, on the other hand. People disguising themselves as anime lovers. People who watch anime only to hate it, only to talk smack about the shows. Those people I'm referring to are the ones that are all over the place right now. Now, like Attack on Titan, where people are gathering like mobs to hate the shows, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I feel like you didn't even watch Hunter x Hunter to hate it. And that's probably where it's all coming from, right? People are saying they hate the shows without even watching them, and everyone's saying the same thing. So it feels like the show is no longer good. So if you do like that show, you're on the opposing end and the receiving end of a lot of criticism. Ow. I poked myself in the eye. Oh my god. Jesus. Was a man who existed at some point in time. Am I blind? No, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, God. Okay. Now, where was I? I was talking about anime. Now, while I believe that the hate for the end of Attack on Titan was very necessary, I don't believe that that should impact the entirety of the show. I think really you should break it down by season first and then try to compile it together as a whole and rate it that way versus basically stating that the show is garbage because of the ending, right? So season 1 of Attack on Titan, magnificent. It brought in a swarm of new viewers. It made anime mainstream. And then we have season 2, which also escalated and elevated the show to different heights with more deaths, with more animation, with really cool special effects, all these different things. The story was very impactful on the community, and it was a very successful show. And then we get to season 3, I think, which took a very long time to come out for some reason, and they also just broke it down into 2 seasons. I don't remember if that's where it was, but I know that the last season, right, there was 4 seasons. I know that the last season ended up being like a 2-parter, which I feel like nowadays they are just trying to stretch out the freaking shows so that the popularity can maintain over a course of like 5-6 years. Even though the show's already legendary, it's already in the books as one of the greatest shows of all times, because I mean, look at the ratings, right? Look at the amount of people who watched the show when it was coming out. That's the same thing that I feel like people are doing to Naruto, where it's like, oh, Naruto's mid, the show sucks, and I feel like they're basing that off of Boruto. But Boruto is a separate show, ladies and gentlemen. It is not the same show as Naruto or Naruto Shippuden, which begs the question, why do people hate the show so much? I think and I think that it has to do with recency bias. I think people care way more about what's happening currently than what happened in the past, but at the same time, you have to give the shows that came out before their due respect, because without those shows we wouldn't be here right now, right? There's a huge large following in the One Piece community simply because the show hasn't ended yet. The show is ongoing. The storytelling is top notch. It almost feels like it'll be a show forever, which is not the case. It'll end eventually, but again, the show is good, and I think that it's one of the best shows to ever come out. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes the anime community can be really toxic, which again goes to like biases, right? And it's like One Piece is the greatest show of all times. I mean, it's one of the longest of all times. I'm not saying that the show's not great, like Tony the Tiger, but I'm just saying it's not my favorite show of all times, right? I despise Luffy, but that's neither here nor there. You got to give these shows the respect that they deserve. Again, Dragon Ball gets mad respect, but it's also an ongoing show. Not Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Super, you know. And then they also have Dragon Ball Daima now. See, they have consistent shows for the same series that are coming out back to back. And no matter how you feel about the new series that are coming out, it's probably not for the next generation who also, the older generation who has the need or want to continue watching the new stuff that's coming out. So never remember that everything's made for you. It's made for the sake of something that you actually enjoy, right? I think that the world today is very heavy on negative energy and negative responses to new things that are not in line with things that they have watched prior. And so when something of the same magnitude comes out, like Dragon Ball Z was the thing, and then they came out with Dragon Ball Super, which obviously Dragon Ball GT is in there somewhere, but the thing is like Dragon Ball Z, then Dragon Ball Super, and then you have the fans who really like the show, and then you have the fans who really hate the show, and simply because the animation's different, or the storytelling's different, or yada yada yada, this and that, right? People just need to realize that things are going to change, and nothing stays the same. I mean, we age every year, right? There's always a new development happening within your own bodies versus I don't know, a stick of gum, right? You chew it and then it's done. Everything is going to change eventually, and you just need to be able to adapt, because the world doesn't revolve around you. While your perspective is based off of where you are located in the world doesn't technically revolve around just you. Everyone else is here as well. So I think we need to respect each other's opinions, but we don't need to bombard the old stuff just for the simple fact that the new stuff coming out looks better and has a better chance of being popular just for the simple fact that social media exists. You can post things on Reels and get thousands of views. Boom, that show's automatically more popular than any other show that came out prior to that, because those things didn't exist, right? I'm just saying. This is all just opinionated stuff. Nothing I'm saying is factual. Yeah, but again, it comes down to recency bias. People want to be involved with what's happening right now. They want to talk about what's happening currently, and then they also want to go back to the old stuff and be like, yeah, that stuff wasn't really that great. Like the people who bash Kakashi, ooh, they piss me off so much. It's like, Gojo's better. Yeah, okay, fine, sure. If you want to believe that, that's perfectly fine with me. But don't forget that Gojo wouldn't exist without Kakashi. He's the original. And while Boruto is probably bad, I don't know, because I stopped around like episode 69, 70, around there somewhere. While the new shows that are coming out might be bad representations of the old shows, they tend to stand alone. Like, I feel like people will compare Avatar: The Last Airbender to Korra, which in a sense it is part of the same universe, but it is not the same show, because they have different characters, they have reoccurring characters from the old series. All these different things are factors that play into people's opinions. So if you don't like Korra, you might be like, man, Avatar sucks. That show's trash. Maybe they're just talking about a certain episode. Maybe they're talking about a certain season. You know, maybe they're talking about the ending of a really good show and then demonizing it because it's what's popular, right? People love to hate on things. But you got to remember that the more we hate on things, the more negative energy we're putting out in the world, and all that negative energy is turning into a bubble, and it's spreading, and it's filling everyone around them with hate. And we really need some positivity to come of the world, because if we're at the point in time where we're critiquing art, for being a thing at all. And we're losing our ability to have free speech. It's like you talking on the internet, you saying you hate it, da 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 da. You're posting like memes and stuff about how terrible it is. And then you build communities around how terrible they are, and then you're just spreading a lot of hate versus like joining groups because you want to spread nice things about the show, or maybe like just have friendly debates, right? We're like picking teams over here. We're like, I'm red and you're blue, and we can't coincide. Like bouncing. We're enemies, right? No, we're not enemies. We just have different tastes and different opinions. I mean, this video is not even about anime anymore. This is, in a sense, it is still about anime, but we're not gonna always get what we want. And I feel like we're taking these shows for granted, and eventually we might just have nothing but isekais. So I don't know what kind of world that is, but it's not a world that I want to live in. Like, I like isekai, but goddamn, like how many shows in a year do we need that follow the same premise? Again, that's neither here nor there. I think you need to give credit where credit is due. These shows existed for a reason. You gotta respect it, but you don't gotta like it. But you shouldn't hate it. Anyway, that is all I really have to say about this. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you agree with my opinion. If you don't, leave something in the comment section that says otherwise. Just be nice about it, right? Show your boy some love, and peace.